Hi, everybody. I hope you are all having a wonderful week. So, today I want to catch my recipe tag album up. I have February's recipe stamps from Adorn It and Diane Markham here. I've already colored them and fussy cut them, added some white pen detail and some glossy accents detail. I've also cut and colored some little cherries to accent my recipe tags. For paper products, I'm going to use Brutus Monroe's Be Mine 6x6 paper pad. I use this paper pad and these papers for the cards that I made using these stamp sets, and I thought they just matched beautifully and worked really, really well. So I'm going to just go ahead and continue to use this paper pad to make the tags for my recipe book. The 3 recipes I'm going to add to my tag album today, these are actually February's stamp drop. I will link them up in the description box below. One is for a crock pot cherry jam. One is for very chocolate cherry brownies. And one is for chocolate covered cherries. So I actually have bought the ingredients for the cherry jam and for the brownies. I just have to go ahead and get them made, which is actually on my to-do list for today. So for these tags, I am going to use a pencil to mark where the recipe how much space the recipe is going to take up on my tag. I have Brutus Monroe's Not Your Mama's cardstock, and that is what I have been using to make all of my tags to give them lots of good stability and make them useful, or to make them usable and stable, so they're nice and thick tags. In fact, I'm pretty sure that these set of cherry tags is going to be the last tags that I can fit in this tag album, and I'm going to have to start another one. So I'm probably going to go ahead and make a cover, a front cover and a back cover for my cherry tag for my recipe album. For this tag album, and then this tag album is going to be done, and I can start another one with March's recipes. I have March's recipes here, and I have I know April's have been shipped to me already. They're on their way, so as soon as I have April's, I'm going to go ahead and start a new recipe album, and I'll share that process here as well. So I've created my first tag. Now I'm just going to wallpaper both sides of the tag with some pattern paper from that 6x6 paper pad. I will link all of the things that I use to create my tags in the description box. So I will link the stamps from Adorn It. I will have a link to this 6x6 paper pad, which actually is still available. And I will also link the Not Your Mama's cardstock unless it's out of stock, because it goes in and out of stock fairly quickly over at Brutus Monroe. So I'm making these tags. While I make these tags, I will give you a little health update. If you watched my video at the end of last week, you heard not only did I announce my giveaway winner, but you would have heard that I'm in the process of getting some health stuff taken care of, and you can go back and watch that video if you want all of the details on that. I got my sleep study back. I do not have sleep apnea. So as much as we wanted that to be the cause, as much as we wanted that to be the answer, it is not. So next week I have to go for pulmonary function testing. And then once we get the results back from that, then we will move on to what the next health thing is, what the next steps are to get me to get me healthy. It's not so much that I feel bad. I don't have symptoms necessarily from what I have. So my heart issues, I don't necessarily have symptoms. So that's good, right? Okay, we just got to figure out what's causing it because it can domino into other things. You will notice I'm using my Teflon bone folder and I am burnishing this. What I'm really doing is I am kind of smushing because I'm gluing these papers onto the cardstock. I am using my bone folder just to make sure that there's no air bubbles and that the glue gets pushed evenly around. And I'm just gluing this on with my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, which I absolutely adore, and then trimming around the edges. Next, I am going to go ahead and glue down my stamp. I have colored all these stamped images with Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I stamped them onto Bristol Smooth cardstock using Brutus Monroe Raven ink. And then I came in after they were completely dried and I added details with either white gel pen or glossy accents, and sometimes both. For the back of this particular tag, I just want to have something pretty. So I have these 2 cherries that I colored and cut from one of the other cherry stamp sets. I am going to die cut this circle and add it to the center of my tag. And then I'm going to go ahead and just embellish the back of the tag with the cherries. In addition to these cherries, I'm also going to add just a little scattering of sequins to the back. The sequin mix I'm using is called Wine and Roses. It is from Spiegel Mom Scraps, as is all of my sequin mixes, always. I will link that up too for you in the description box. So if you need the sequin mix in your life, you can grab it. I also have a discount code that you can use when you shop at Spiegel Mom Scraps. I will leave that in the description box as well. And now let's move on to our next tag. Why I continually dump sequins on my glass mat, I don't even know. I have so many little triangle things. There is no reason for me to be dumping them on my mat because it makes them hard to pick up and put away. And I know this, and yet I still do it. And now it's just time to kind of rinse and repeat. So I have another sheet. This is actually the rest of the sheet of the Not Your Mama's cardstock. I think I got all 3 tags that I create. Oh no, 2. I got both the tags I created. I only made 2. 2 tags, 4 sides. This will be the second one, and I used the same sheet of paper. So it didn't even take me I didn't even use a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper for both of the tags today. I'm going to go through and kind of choose my papers. The next one, or the next tag that I'm going to do, the next side I'm going to work on, is that Crock-Pot Cherry Jam. And that, because of the way I colored it, it's very kind of dark and a little moody. And so I wanted a paper that was a little bit more white based for that side. Now the other recipe that I'm going to do today is chocolate covered cherries. And that recipe is lighter. It's all colored in grays. So the pattern paper that I chose for the background of that was just a little bit busier and a little more colored, so that I had a nice contrast between the recipe and the pattern paper. And what that does is it allows me, when I'm actually using these recipes, because I use this recipe book, I have made just about every recipe on these stamp sets, and I have yet to find one that's bad. They're so good. They work really well, and they're so super easy. I can honestly say with a great deal of certainty that if I wasn't one of the Adorn It ambassadors, I would absolutely subscribe to these recipe stamps because they're cute and creative, and the recipes work really well. So that's just my little 2 cents there. I love them. And I'm super honored and so happy to be one of the Adorn It ambassadors. So you can see here exactly how I'm doing these tags. I make these tags from scratch. I'm not using any special dies. I'm not using any special kind of tools. You really don't need anything, any kind of special things to create a tag album like this. Even the little rings that I use to hold the tags in place, those little rings are just from Amazon. They're just rings. They're like jump rings. And they're super cheap. I got like a whole bag of them for just a couple bucks. I was super ambitious. I would be making more than one of these tag albums at a time. Like I would do each of these tags two or three times, and then I could have some extras to give away as extra albums to give away as gifts. But yeah, no, I like them for me. So it does need a cover, does need a back and a front cover, but that's okay. And then we'll start a new one. I can't believe I've done enough of these that I get to start a new album. That's awesome. So here's my little crockpot jam recipe. And I'm just going to put it right into the center of my tag. And then you'll see how it is nice and contrasting. So you can definitely see it doesn't blend in with my background. You'll also notice that I add lots and lots of extra glue to all of these tags. I want them to stick around for a little while. And since this is something that I actually use in my kitchen, I don't want to have sequins falling off or things peeling up. Now, I do not leave this book in my kitchen. That would be insanity. But I do take it into my kitchen when I want to cook with it. And then I bring it back and put it in its home. In addition to my recipe onto this side of the tag, I'm also adding some cute little cherry embellishments, and then I'm going to add a little smattering of sequins again. So I'm super kind of sad because Adornit has stopped making pattern papers to go with their stamp sets. But I also kind of love that because now I can mix and match from my stash. And that allows me to continue to be kind of plugging away at my stash. I'm really very much an anti-clutter crafter. I don't like clutter. I don't like stuff just hanging out. And it kind of makes me twitch when there's stuff. So by having the ability now to just go into my stash for paper and pattern paper and stuff for these tags I love it. So here's the second side. Again, you can see why I chose the papers I chose when I put that nice gray stamped jar of chocolate covered cherries onto that tag. It kind of pops. You can see it right away. And then same embellishments. I kept these all really simple. I used the same embellishments and the same sequins throughout all four sides of this tag set. And every time I dumped the sequins onto my desk instead of getting one of my little triangle trays. Oh well, creature of habit, I guess. And there we go, all finished. I love how these tags turned out. I'm super excited to have kind of finished volume 1. And as soon as I get my April stamps and get them colored up, we'll have another video like this where I'll do my May recipes, the April recipe, and we'll make a cover for volume 1 of my recipe tag album. Here are the close-ups of all these fun stamp sets and tags. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you can take some inspiration from it. Even if you have no interest in making a recipe tag album, maybe you are interested in starting a fun mini book from scratch. You don't want to buy a binder or anything that is, you don't want to invest in tools. this is a really great way to have a tag, to have a mini album, and not invest in tools. So that's kind of fun. All right, everybody, I will talk to you again soon. Bye.